Alrighty, we are up and running. Hopefully the lag is not too terrible. And nobody's here yet. Hopefully some people will show up. No chat yet. Of course, somebody's here. I hope this shows up okay. Wait a few more minutes. Hopefully people start showing up. So for those of you who are watching this after the fact, after it's been live, this is going to be just a hangout, talk about stuff, and also talk about how the movie Eragon would have been better. And you guys had better appreciate this because I had to watch that crap pile again last night in order to do this, so that I would remember it. Because I had forgotten a lot of that movie. It has been years since I saw it last. Yeah, it was bad. It was really, really bad. And nobody's here yet. Ay, ay, ay. I really hope the lag isn't too bad on this. Last night I was testing this and I turned on YouTube on my PlayStation and the lag was like 20 seconds, but that I had problems with my internet earlier in the day. So yeah, it might have been that. Hopefully the lag isn't that bad, but honestly, I doubt you guys would be able to tell anyway. So yeah, because it wasn't like glitching or anything like that. It was pretty stable. Still nobody here. So, might as well start talking about it. Actually, no, before I do that, I'm going to explain what I'm doing here. I had been doing a series previously called My Thoughts On, and I would do just a random topic. It didn't do too well at all. Like, initially I would get some views, and most I think any of them got was like 40 something views, 46, 47 views. That ain't terrible. Well, I mean, for a channel that's just starting out, that's not bad. But then the views really dropped off, and I was getting under 10 views per video, and I realized, you know what, nobody wants to just hear my opinion on stuff. They don't know who I am. Maybe later on I'll restart that, but I need to be more creative with what I'm doing and the content I'm creating. So here I am now. I'm gonna be starting this new series. It's going to be various movies and books that just could have been better. That should have, in a lot of cases, been better. Like today's topic, Eragon. I really liked those books. I didn't read all of them. I read all but the last one. I read Eragon, I read Brissinger, I read Eldest. I didn't read the last one. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, I liked them. They were pretty well written, especially considering how young the guy was who wrote them. I mean, he's significantly younger than me. When the first book was published, he was 15. I think. Yeah, he was 15. Christopher Paolini was 15 when Eragon was published. That was in 2005 and 2006 actually. And I had graduated from high school 2 years prior, so he was 15 when I was 20. I would say that's pretty good. I mean, it wasn't the best written book, and they definitely got better as they went on, as far as writing and all that. So when I saw that this movie was being made, I was pretty excited. Those were some of my favorite books. I read the first one when it very first came out, and knew what it was, and knew how good the movie could be. And that is my cat, Patience, meowing and meowing and meowing, as per usual. She's a very talkative cat. Used to think it was cute, it's just kind of annoying. Anyway, so back to the books. So yeah, I read it when it first came out. Loved it. I mean, it had a good story. The characters were very well written. That's one thing I will give Christopher Paolini. He writes his characters very well. The story itself could have used some work. It wasn't super original. But it was a good story. Better than a lot of really popular books these days. Just putting that out there. Yeah. So, going into this movie, I was really excited. I saw it actually in theaters when it came out. And it pissed me. It proceeded to almost immediately piss me off. They didn't make an overwhelming amount of minor changes. There's only a few minor changes. The biggest one being how Eragon's brother leaves because he doesn't want to be conscripted into the army. That's not his reason in the book. The reason in the book for leaving was because he was in love and wanted to get married and needed to get a better job. So he was going to a town for a specific amount of time. I think it was 2 or 3 years. In order to make enough money to get married to the girl he loves. That's much better. That makes more sense. In the book, it was made very clear that Galbatorix had taken over over 100 years ago. It was very clear. It was made that's why people didn't know about dragons very much. The dragon riders, they were just kind of a legend. There was nobody alive that remembered that, and that was made clear in the book. In the movie, not so much. Which, okay, whatever. That's not that big of a deal. It's a minor change. So major changes they made. Why the heck was Arya a human, not an elf? Why? And the feathers on Saphira. Oh my gosh, why? Why? Why did they do that? I don't understand what the purpose of that was. But okay, whatever. Artistic license, whatever. The way they had Saphira grow up, this whole movie just felt like it was rushed. Like, they had the opening bit of exposition, and then that's it. That's all we get. Like, there's bits of exposition here and there, but they just felt like they were really rushing it. The Varden, they barely introduced them. The Varden were a huge part of the book. Angela and her werecat, I can't remember the werecat's name because they don't tell it in the movie. They don't even show the werecat in the movie. They were a huge part in the book. So all these major changes. The way Saphira grows up, like, just she flies away and then boom, 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 all in like 10 seconds. And don't even try to tell me there was an undisclosed time skip there because Eragon is in the same field wearing the same clothes. It was 10 seconds. She went from baby just hatched a couple days prior to full-grown dragon. It's like, why? Why not just do a time skip? Or show some of the bond better yet, show some of the bond that Eragon and Saphira developed over the 6 months, I believe it was. Might have even been a year from when she hatched to when she was full grown. I mean, Saphira and Eragon in the movie, they don't really develop a bond. It's just like, oh, yep, we're bonded. Yeah, yep, that just happened. We're bonded immediately. It's like, that's not how it was in the book. That's not how it was at all in the book. So they made all these major changes, most of them just completely unnecessary. Most of them are just completely and utterly unnecessary. And it just makes me feel like the whole movie was rushed. Or that the director is completely incompetent and had no clue what he was doing. Although I don't know if it was all the director's fault because, quite frankly, with the exception of Jeremy Irons and who played Brahm, did an excellent job, by the way, and the guy who played Durza, all the other actors in this movie are terrible. I mean, I've never seen any of them ever again. Like, I've never seen any of them in anything else. I would be willing to wager that if I went on IMDb to their pages, Eragon would be one of the only, if not the only, things to a lot of these actors' credits. Like the girl that played Arya, never seen her or anything else. The guy who played Eragon, who was just, oh my gosh. Oh boy, he was bad. The woman who voiced Saphira did a pretty decent job. I will give them that. but oh gosh, especially the guy who played Galbatorix, just so yeah, acting was bad. Possibly partly the director's fault. Probably more the actor's fault. Because I've seen Jeremy Irons before. He's done a fantastic job. I mean, he's won awards. Like, he's a good actor. Guy who played, I can't think of the guy's name, who played Durza, but he also played Rumpelstiltskin on Once Upon a Time. And he did a fantastic job in that. And then in Eragon, he was probably the best in Eragon, considering how little he had to work with. Oh, and my gosh, they killed the Razak. That's not supposed to happen. That didn't happen until, I think, the third book. And they just kill off the Razak in the first half of the movie. Really? They were a major plot point in the other two books. In fact, killing the Razak made it impossible to continue the trilogy, or the quadrilogy. There's 4 books. So how could it have been better? Let's get to that. Well, first off, get better actors and a better director. That's obvious. Leave Jeremy Irons in there. He did a great job. Leave the guy who played Durza in there. He did a great job. Arya, Galbatorix. I don't know how good of an actor the guy who played the leader of the Varden is, because they barely show him, despite the fact that he was a huge part of the book. Enormous part. Very important character. They barely show him. They don't even say his name. That's how bad this was. They don't even say his name. And he was like one of the most important characters in the book. So just better actors right out the bat. Like, there are plenty of talented young actors out there that could have played Arya, that could have played Eragon, and there are plenty of talented older actors out there that aren't getting a ton of work that would probably do this, that could play Galbatorix. I mean, for heaven's sake, they got Jeremy Irons to play Braum. Galbatorix is pretty much the same age as Braum. I'm sure they could find another actor that age that would have done a much better job. Hi, Lightning. Apparently, Lightning wanted to be in the live stream. Hi. I can't edit this. Anyway. Cats will be cats. So the first thing I would do to make it better is obvious, get better actors. The second thing I would do is slow it down. I mean, this book, Eragon, is a thick book. It is a big book. I think it was like 400 pages. Between 300 and 400 pages. It was big. And they crammed it down to an hour and 44 minutes. I mean, they were planning on making the entire trilogy, or the entire quadrilogy, all 4 books. And I don't understand why. I think that the entire production was rushed, and they just wanted to push it out and make money. And I would have gotten a director that would have said, no, I'm going to do this right. And slow it down, slow the pacing down. The pacing was so fast, it was so off. The book kind of took its time. It described things. It built chemistry between the characters. It did a really good job with that. That's one thing I'll give props to Christopher Paolini. He built up the characters really well. So yeah, that was a big problem. Another big problem was the characterization of Murtaugh. First off, they introduced him completely wrong. When Saphira captured him, I can't remember exactly how it came about, but he let slip that he knew where the Varden were. And it wasn't intentional. He didn't... Well, it was, but it wasn't. He didn't know that Eragon was trying to find the Varden. When he let that slip, Eragon's, well, take me to them, or I'll let Saphira eat you. Basically. Not in so many words, but that's essentially the gist of what he said. Murtaugh fought tooth and nail to not go to the Varden, because the Varden didn't like him very much, because, spoilers, he was the son of Morzan the traitor, who betrayed the Dragon Riders and the Varden, and they didn't like that much. Hey! Lightning! Sorry, that cat's scratching on something he wasn't supposed to. Of course he would do that during live stream. Anyway, so in the book, Murtaugh doesn't want to go to the Varden. In the movie, Murtaugh's like, oh yeah, sure, I'll take you to him. I'll take you to him. Like, what? And then it makes sense, because for some reason in the movie, the Varden didn't immediately recognize Murtaugh as the son of Morzan. In the book they did. Like, it was immediate. Like, they saw Murtaugh, they're like, take him prisoner, tie him up, put him in a cage. Why did they make that change? It would not have taken any more time to do it like it did in the book. Like it was in the book. It would not have taken any more time. So why did they find it necessary to change that? I don't understand. Why? So yeah, that's another thing I would change to make it better. Make Murtaugh... I mean, in the book, Murtaugh was dark and brooding and depressed and hated what his father had done. We got a glimpse of that when the Varden leader first accused him and first told them to take him away. Got a glimpse of that. But that's it. The rest of the time, Murtaugh's like this happy-go-lucky, smiley, goofy guy that just doesn't fit Murtaugh's character. And it just makes no sense why they changed that. So that's the other thing I would change to make the movie better, is make Murtaugh actually Murtaugh. Essentially. Yeah, they just changed so many things that were unnecessary that I basically just changed back to make it more like the book. Honestly, it just... There's so much wrong with this movie, I barely know where to start. I don't know. And nobody has watched this entire time. Oh well. Let's post on my channel and see what happens. Anyway, so yeah, essentially the main things I would change with Eragon to make it better was just make it more like the book. Make it follow the book better. Make it a little longer. Make it a little longer so they can actually explain stuff. That they have breathing room. They can do things more like the book. Because that's the biggest problem. Is it was rushed, like majorly rushed. So yeah, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and end this now. Nobody's shown up this entire time. Whatever. So yeah, I hope those of you watching this after the fact enjoy it. I'll probably do another live stream again. Just post it. I mean, really, there's no point in me recording videos and all that sort of stuff and posting them and uploading them like that, because I don't edit myself anyway. I don't do jump cuts and stuff like that anyway, so what's the point? So yeah, anyway, I will see you guys later.